Hello, my amazing squaddies. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're tuning in from. Welcome to Daily Diaries Friday. I'm truly thankful for each of you in this community built on kindness, unity, and all-around good vibes. If you love the Sussex family, you're among friends here. From royal highlights to their bold new chapters, we keep it uplifting, thoughtful, and always real. Let's continue this beautiful journey together. Be sure to subscribe, like, share, and drop your thoughts below. Now let's jump into today's video. On July 7th, 2025, the official Twitter account for the Prince and Princess of Wales marked the 20th anniversary of the devastating 7/7 London bombings, with what should have been a sombre and dignified tribute. The intent was to honour the 52 lives lost and the hundreds injured in the 2005 coordinated terrorist attacks, one of the most harrowing days in modern British history. Yet, rather than allowing space for collective remembrance and reflection, the moment was marred almost instantly by a glaring and frankly avoidable blunder. The tweet in question opened not with heartfelt words or national sentiment, but with the phrase, "and copy," a phrase universally understood as an internal instruction or placeholder, typically used by staff or media teams preparing social media drafts. Its accidental inclusion exposed what should have remained behind the scenes, the mechanical, template-driven process behind the royal family's digital communications. Within minutes, criticism erupted. The post, meant to express solidarity and solemnity, became fodder for mockery, frustration, and internet memes. Rather than encouraging thoughtful remembrance, it became another exhibit in what many see as Kensington Palace's growing list of public relations failings. The palace quickly deleted the tweet and reposted a nearly identical version, absent the phrase and featuring a slightly revised photo collage. But it was far too late. Screenshots had already gone viral, circulating widely across social platforms. The damage, as always in the age of digital permanence, was done. It's a fundamental rule of modern communications. Nothing published online ever truly disappears, especially when it comes from institutions that should know better. In isolation, such an error might be written off as a minor technical hiccup, but this was not an isolated incident. It followed in the wake of several high-profile digital missteps by the same royal household. Just a year earlier, in March 2024, Kensington Palace was embroiled in a media firestorm after releasing a heavily manipulated photograph of the Princess of Wales with her children on Mother's Day. The image, initially presented as an authentic family moment, was quickly flagged by major international news agencies, including Reuters and the Associated Press, for signs of digital tampering. The situation escalated to the point where kill notices were issued, instructing publishers to withdraw the image due to a lack of editorial integrity. The fallout was swift and severe, an outpouring of criticism questioning the palace's commitment to truth, transparency, and ethical media practices. Taken together, these incidents suggest more than mere human error. They point to systemic dysfunction within the palace's communications operation, an operation that, despite its resources, appears woefully out of touch with the demands of modern digital strategy. Social media, once embraced by the monarchy as a vital bridge to younger generations and global audiences, is now exposing a glaring vulnerability: the inability of an antiquated institution to adapt effectively to the pace and precision required in the internet age. The July 7th misstep is especially troubling not just because of the occasion it marred, but because of what it reveals about the palace's priorities. On a day that should have been defined by national unity, remembrance, and quiet dignity, attention shifted instead to a preventable blunder. The "and copy" mistake was more than a slip. It was a crack in the carefully curated royal facade. And cracks, once visible, are difficult to ignore. Critics were quick to connect the dots. How could an organisation so deeply invested in its image, a monarchy that has spent generations cultivating mystique and decorum, fail at something as basic as proofreading a tweet? The answer, many suspect, lies in a toxic mix of complacency, hierarchy, and lack of accountability. When image becomes more important than authenticity, mistakes aren't just possible, they're inevitable. This is especially true in an era where public trust in institutions is eroding. Across politics, media and monarchy alike, the tolerance for opacity and error has diminished. People notice when things don't add up, and when the royal family fumbles even the simplest of digital gestures on a day of national significance no less, it sends an unmistakable message. They are not in control of their own narrative, or worse, they've stopped understanding what their narrative should be. The tone deafness is especially jarring given how much is at stake. The royal family has long relied on symbolism and ceremony to shore up its legitimacy. Every public statement, appearance or commemorative post functions as a piece of soft power, reinforcing continuity and moral authority. When those elements falter, even in a single tweet, the consequences reverberate far beyond a fleeting social media cycle. They chip away at the institution's credibility. They invite scrutiny. They turn moments of unity into flashpoints of criticism. Moreover, the timing could not be worse. With the British public grappling with broader questions about the monarchy's role, relevance and financial burden, such unforced errors add fuel to an already simmering debate. In recent years, polling has indicated a growing generational divide in attitudes toward the monarchy, with younger Britons increasingly ambivalent or outright sceptical of its necessity. These communications failures don't just embarrass the institution, they reinforce the argument that it's out of touch, out of date and out of ideas. Kensington Palace, in particular, seems increasingly unable to navigate the demands of the 24/7 news cycle. Their communications team often appears reactive instead of proactive, scrambling to fix problems after they explode online rather than anticipating and managing public expectations. Whether it's issuing vague apologies, deleting problematic posts, or releasing heavily edited images that backfire, the pattern is clear. Missteps are becoming the rule, not the exception. It's worth asking, who is steering the ship? With all the resources and advisors at their disposal, how do such basic, unforced mistakes continue to slip through? It really speaks to a deeper institutional problem. An insular culture that resists change, avoids transparency, and frankly, underestimates the intelligence and attentiveness of the public. The July 7th tribute should have been an opportunity to unite people around a shared memory of tragedy and resilience. Instead, it became a cautionary tale about digital mismanagement and royal detachment. It served not to elevate the victims of the bombings, but to spotlight the fragility of an institution struggling to maintain relevance in a world that, demands both authenticity and accountability. In the end, the mistake is not just about a stray phrase or a botched post, it's about what these repeated stumbles really signify. A disconnect between appearance and substance, between public expectation and institutional performance. And unless the palace takes a hard, honest look at how it communicates, both online and off, these cracks will only deepen. For an institution that depends so heavily on symbolic leadership and public trust, that's not just embarrassing, it's dangerous. And that's a wrap, squaddies. Thanks for watching and being part of this amazing journey. You guys are the best and I love you all. Your support means the world to me. If you had a good time, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you're the first to catch our next adventure. Drop your thoughts, questions or even just a quick hello in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Share this with your friends, your family, or anyone who could use a little inspiration. Until next time, stay awesome, stay motivated, stay safe, and keep shining. Catch you later, squaddies.